What happens when Dick Grayson meets his biggest fan? Well, nothing short of fifth-dimensional shenanigans, that's what. So let's hop into the pages of Nightwing issue number 98 and find out what happens next together, shall we? So, picking up from where the last issue left off, Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon were hiding out in the woods with Boss Maroney awaiting his big state's evidence turn. Things got really weird and kinda meta too when out of the blue a taxi cab rolled up, driven by none other than Rick Grayson, the persona that Dick was forced to take a couple years back when KGB shot him in the head and he lost his memories. Now you're probably thinking, well, this doesn't make any sense at all. How is this possible? Well, the answer is quite obvious. This is all the work of a brand new fifth-dimensional imp. Yep, that's right. You know all about Bat-Mite. Well, let me introduce you to Nite-Mite, everyone, Dick Grayson's biggest fan. What I particularly love about this is that Batgirl and Nightwing aren't shook at all because, well, they are aware of fifth-dimensional imps and how annoying they can truly be. Nite-Mite says that Nightwing is his favorite hero and that he's been following him for basically his whole life. He thinks Nightwing is just the best, and he's even okay with Nightwing seeing Batgirl, even though he himself personally is more of a Starfire shipper. He also thinks that maybe they're moving a bit too slow in their relationship and that he can use his amazing powers to help speed things up. Yep, that's right, it's a wedding issue, everyone. Granted, Dick and Barb aren't quite ready for that, not yet anyway. Barbara is actually quite surprised when Dick says, no, just not yet. This joke is actually made 100 times better too when we realize that Nite-Mite actually roped in real people, including Batman, to be part of this crazy wedding, who, again, isn't even mad at the fifth-dimensional imp's shenanigans anymore. He's just kind of tired of the whole thing, saying, I gotta get back to Gotham, I got a triple murder I'm trying to solve. Nite-Mite also has quite the read on Batman and how he chooses to live his life, saying that he's forever self-punishing himself, forever denying himself any sort of joy, be it familial connections or even the joy of carbs. And that he never wants Nightwing to end up the same way. But why is exactly Nite-Mite right here, right now of all times? Well, it seems that he has a very special mission that only the real Nightwing can help him out with. One that actually ends up relating to Blockbuster and his recent defeat, as we discover Blockbuster many years ago actually made a deal with the devil, in this case Neron, a very fun DC Comics deep cut, for the price of his soul. Many years later, he chose to renegotiate this deal by offering up yet another soul, the soul of his firstborn child, Olivia. The big problem being, now that Blockbuster is dead, demons from hell have come to Earth to try and claim the girl's soul for themselves. And Nite-Mite doesn't want to see that happen because, as it turns out, Olivia, Blockbuster's daughter, is actually a huge fan of Nightwing too. I mean, not as big as Nite-Mite, but she's definitely in the fan club, and Nightwing fans gotta look out for each other, right? Dick wonders if this imp is so incredibly powerful, couldn't he have just protected the girl on his own? And indeed he could have. The only problem is that Nite-Mite doesn't want to start a war between the demons of hell and the imps of fifth dimension. Which, honestly, you know what? That sounds like a killer pitch in and of itself. Can we see that story eventually, Tom Taylor? I'd like that. Now, just because Nite-Mite can't get involved in the fighting personally doesn't mean he's not going to help Dick Grayson with some super power-ups. First off, he enchants Nightwing's famous Eskrima stick so that they can essentially do holy damage and send the demons back to hell. And as an encore, Nite-Mite even goes out of his way to give Haley the dog a brand new superhero costume and the ability to speak. Let me introduce you to Bitewing, everybody. I think my favorite thing too about Dick's dog talking is that it's not like traditional talking comic book dog stuff, it's just Haley saying stuff that a dog would think. As a united force, Nightwing and Bitewing are able to make short work of the demons. In the end though, in a very fun twist, Olivia actually delivers the final blow herself, and why shouldn't she? Super strength runs in her family, her father had it and even her uncle had it. Just to make sure that Olivia stays safe though, Dick goes out of his way to recruit the help of Teen Titans friend Raven. After all, she knows a thing or two about having the devil for a father, and she vows to use her magic powers to make sure that Neron can't find her. Geez, you know, it's a shame that Titans Academy book isn't around anymore, because I think Little Girl Blockbuster would actually be a really solid addition to a new Titans team down the line. With the day finally saved, Nightwing and Nite-Mite actually get a chance to speak candidly with one another, Dick admits that Nite-Mite is unlike any other fifth-dimensional imp that he's ever dealt with before. For one, he's not nearly as chaotic or even vindictive as, say, someone like Mr. Mixel Spitlick or even Bat-Mite sometimes are. Nite-Mite admits that's because he spent so much time watching Dick, really learning from him and modeling his entire life after him, which, Dick is charmed on one hand, but on the other, he thinks that that's a little unfortunate. Nite-Mite, whose real name is revealed to be Dixel in case you're wondering, is a good guy with a good heart, and he shouldn't be living his life in someone else's shadow. It's nice to have heroes and everything, but you should never put someone on such a pedestal to the point where you stop living your own life, which I think we can all agree Dick Grayson is most certainly speaking from personal experience as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Nightwing issue number 98, everybody, and I gotta say, I had a frickin' blast with this one. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times, the one-and-done comic story is sadly becoming an endangered species in this art form, which is a shame because, as Tom Taylor has shown here, you can tell a really fun story with a beginning, middle, and end, with just a single issue. I also really wasn't expecting this Nightwing book to rope in some of the fifth-dimensional imps, but man, they are so good for making wacky, fun comics. Moving forward, I hope we get more fun little one-offs like this one that play with the genre. I think if they do, this one will continue to be maybe one of the best Nightwing books in a very long time. Because Nightwing, much like Batman, is very malleable as a superhero, and his stories can be, well, basically whatever you want them to be if you try hard enough. Overall, I'd give this one a very positive 9 out of 10, and I would say even if you're not reading the Nightwing book regularly, you could really enjoy this one because it works so well on its own.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.